For 50 years, Les Levine has been talking to Cleveland sports fans. Boy, say a prayer for him and light some holy candles. Can you imagine 50 years of doing talk radio, whether it's talk radio on the radio, as Les Levine has done, talk radio on television, which he did for years on cable TV, his show More Sports and Les Levine, or now it's doing talk radio on the internet for cleveland.com. Les Levine is going to be honored soon by the Cleveland Association of Broadcasters a 50-year Excellence Award. And look, I've known Les for probably 30 years. I've been on his show many times. So, you know, this is not exactly the unbiased opinion. But Les Levine is one of the more genuine, wonderful people there. And I think back, Les and I were talking about this. You know, Pete Franklin was the godfather of talk radio. Not only, I think, in Cleveland, but almost nationally. He was such a monster back then, because that was before the internet and before cable TV. And, you know, that was back when he was at, you know, whether it was 3WE or whatever you want to call 1100 AM. And he used to say, you could hear me in 38 states and half of Canada. And he said this other station that was kind of going against him. And you could hear them on 38 streets and half of the West Side. So that was his kind of stuff he did there. But after Pete Franklin, you know, then came Les Levine and some others. But, you know, Les is a guy that, well, first of all, he's kind of the master of puns and things like that. It's called How Come Quickies, where he asks such eternal questions as, why do they serve round pizzas in a square box? I do not have an answer to that. Or how come you drive on a parkway but you park in a driveway? He would just throw these out in the middle of his things. I mean, I would sit there on the show and go like, so what? But, you know, Les liked him, and that was wonderful for that. You know, the thing, though, about Les Levine that I think has helped him last very long has been that he's just he's a genuine caring person, and he's in a field where people really will chew each other up, where it isn't too hard to figure out the alliances when you're talking to different people on radio or TV, because those jobs are hard to come by. There's a lot of jealousy. I mean, Les admitted to me when I was interviewing him for this long story that, you know, his goal was, at the age of 25, you want to be doing college games, which actually he was. He was doing some Kent State and then later Cleveland State. By 30 to 35, doing Major League Baseball or basketball or something. Well, he's now 73. He never got to that part. But he went on and created kind of his own thing. He's also one of the guys here who sells his own shows. In other words, the commercials you hear Les do, whether it's for Sokolowski's University Inn or Gallucci's restaurant, he goes out, he sells the time himself, he buys the time on whatever vehicle it is, and that's how he makes a living. And he is, you know, very entrepreneurial. And it's lasted that long. Now there's the other side to Les. Les is battling Parkinson's disease. And, you know, that's been a challenge for him, which came a year before he realized he had Parkinson's. His wife had breast cancer. And they've gone through a lot together in their late 60s and into their early 70s. Les has never really missed a show because of Parkinson's. He's also had a bunch of, like, leg surgeries and things like that. You know, he has this thing that I really enjoy, and I want to keep even on my own career, which is he isn't jaded or cynical. So easy just to get on the air or get behind a keyboard. The Indians suck. The Browns are terrible. Those guys are idiots. Negative, negative, negative. Yes, there's times to criticize, but look, we come to sports for diversion from real life. And if we just make it sound like a drumbeat of downer, who wants to listen to it after a while? And also, well, given what Les has gone through, I talked to his wife, Allison. Allison says, in the morning, I make Les tell me, what are you grateful for today? And then I tell him, here's what I'm grateful for. He doesn't like doing it, but we need to remind each other of those things. And I could just simply say this, I'm grateful that after 50 years, Les Levine is still around talking sports in Cleveland.